I'm Link Green, and this is Precise Science. All right, so peace everyone. Big announcement that came out earlier. I actually made it yesterday. My fiance, Bree, and I have moved to Costa Rica. We are very happy about this decision. We couldn't be happier, honestly. And we feel that our decision was the best one to make based on the political, economic, emotional turmoil and overall climate of the United States. It was a great financial decision, and it is one that we feel is going to help us flourish even more than we already have, despite the conditions in the United States. And I would like for my friends, family, those who follow me, their friends and family, to know that they can do it too. And I'm going to give you the exact steps and the precise science behind what we call Geo-Arbitrage, and that is leaving the United States, keeping your pay in the United States, and going to a country where you can keep most of your pay, save, get out of debt, be safe, feel safe, and I'm going to give you those details in 10 steps, all right? 10 steps. So as with everything, you are encouraged to research. My fiance did most of the research, I'm not gonna lie to you. I basically entrusted her with that because I was doing most of the preparing as far as financially, and making sure that things were in order with our home and our cars first. So research is very important, and one of the biggest things that you need to do is find a home to stay in. So the great thing about Costa Rica and it being such a low cost of living here is that you can get a fully furnished apartment or home with utilities, internet, water, gas, trash, everything paid for. A one bedroom can be anywhere from $500 to $600, maybe $700 a month, and a two bedroom can be anywhere from $700 to $800 a month, but definitely less than $1,000 a month for a 1 to 2 bedroom home. Way less than you're spending now. And these homes can be either in the city. We are actually in San Jose, which is the capital of Costa Rica, and they're much cheaper when you go to the Caribbean side. That is Limon and those areas. Much cheaper if you'd like to live there. There are more melanated people on the Caribbean side, but there are a lot here in San Jose, as we've seen. So either way, depending on who you'd like to be around, and I will be speaking about that a little later, what you want your culture to be more centered towards, you can absolutely find what it is that you're looking for in your range, a home that is comfortable to live in, but this is a great place to find a very affordable home. All right, so as I said earlier, again, you have to do your research. I would suggest that you come here after having saved some money, at least $1,000 to $1,500. Of course, before you leave, you're going to need to pay up your first month's rent on Airbnb. But some places that rent through Airbnb allow you to pay half and half. But you want to come here with at least $1,000 to $1,500. If you know that you can stretch money, $500 to $800 is good. But make sure that you save up, so you're saving every month. You're going to have to cut out some things. What we did in order to save was that first month before we left, we went and stayed with family. We traveled around, we stayed with family, so we didn't have to pay any mortgage, any rent, anything like that, and we could save up our money. All right, so I would definitely, even if you have children, find someone you can stay with while you save up your money, because you are going to need money when you get here, especially if you're trying to get your life back in order, get back to a routine, etc. You're not going to start working right away. You're definitely going to need that. Now, when it comes to your job, and I'm going to put this under the save money category for the reason that if you're going to work from home or work remotely while you're here, which is what a lot of people are doing, you can definitely do that, but you're going to have to get used to the new time. If we're 2 hours behind the East Coast where we're from, so things that are happening at 8 a.m. on the East Coast, we have to get up at 6 in order to be available for them, be it Zoom, a phone call, whatever. So make sure you're preparing yourself for that adjustment that you may need. Maybe you need a week or so to get used to this new schedule. make sure you're giving yourself time by saving and having money to do what you need to do while you're here. This is a time where either people are on one or the other side of the coin. Some people feel like this is the worst time ever. You know, they're limited. Their thinking is very limited, so they feel like they're losing out, they're missing out. And other people are using this as an opportunity to leverage their situation. So if you're one of those people who has the ability to work from home, maybe you can tell your job, hey, I don't feel comfortable with coming in anymore. A flight to the United States, we left from Atlanta, a flight was only 3 hours. United States to Costa Rica and obviously back. So if you need to get back, they can give you enough time to get back and go ahead and prepare to go into work physically if you have some sort of meeting or something that you need to do physically that's there. But of course, that's where that savings comes in. And I don't want to be unrealistic. I know if you have children or whatever the case may be, it's going to be a lot harder to do that. We do not have children here. I do not have a child here. So it's a lot easier for me. But work out something with your job, definitely, where you can work from home and they can prepare you should you need to get there at any time, okay? Also, when it comes to your body and hair care products, both men and women with your body and hair care products that you're used to getting in the United States, they are, like I said, there's a lot of taxes and stuff on bringing things in here. So make sure that you bring your own because they are very expensive here in Costa Rica because of those taxes. So ensure that you have all of your body washes, your soaps, your moisturizers, your shampoos. Bring those in from the United States in your luggage. Make sure you have one thing of luggage, one bag, one suitcase full of all of that stuff. That's what we did. And so we don't have to worry about going to the store to get little toiletries and stuff like that. Of course, you can get the ones that they sell over here, but your body may not be used to those things. Your hair may not be used to those things. So it's important to at least get yourself started with the things that you use in the United States. All right, so community is big here. Costa Ricans are big on community. We've already gotten, I myself, I met a lawyer today earlier who used to be a judge, a lawyer who spoke fluent English and was talking to me in English and Spanish. We met a gentleman who is Costa Rican, but he lived 15 years in Louisiana and has come back to Costa Rica. They gave us their information. The judge actually told me where she lived, told me to come bring Bree with me. So that was really cool. But you're going to need a community when you get here. So what I would suggest to you are on Facebook, there are groups. There are Costa Rican expat groups. There are so-called black or melanated Costa Rican expat groups if you are melanated. And my video is going to be geared towards melanated people because most of my friends who are interested in this, who've told me that they're interested, happen to be my melanated friends. So go on to Facebook, get into those groups, ask questions, make friends, ask them where they think you should go. These people will help you find places to eat, places to live, tell you where to go, where to be, and where not to be. Very important for you to have a community. So, follow YouTubers who have left the United States. We have a YouTuber who left actually Africa that we follow who YouTubes, and she tells people about different things to expect. So very important to have that community. Okay, so for my people who have children, online school is a very good option for your children, especially in this time. Many schools have switched to being online based or centered with their curriculum online. A big shout out to Kiboli Bole Academy. My niece goes there, and they were based out of Atlanta, but they just recently moved to Tanzania. It is an African-centered school where they teach melanated children about history, melanated history, roots, etc. So if you are looking for one of those types of schools, I will definitely drop the link to the academy in the description, and you can look at enrolling your child there or your children there. Very affordable, very great people, down-to-earth people. Sela's mother has been dealing with them for some years now. She's paid for different types of schools for Sela, and this is by far the best one. I believe they teach K through 12, so please check them out. All right. So once you have found out where you're going to live, you've saved up your money, you've gotten your children enrolled in school, or at least gotten them ready to be enrolled in school, now it is time for you to buy your tickets. I bought my tickets. We bought our tickets, I believe, in February or March, so like 2 months before we left. And these were great prices that we got them for. So I would suggest at least 2 months in advance. And you need to be buying your tickets for your flight out to be on either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. These are the cheapest days of the week to fly because not a lot of action is going on in the airports. Not a lot of people are trying to get back from weekend trips. Not a lot of people are trying to go somewhere for the weekend. So these are the best times to fly. Also, you want to buy your tickets one way at a time. One way at a time is the best way to do this. Now, if you are moving and you're bringing all of your things, right? When you move, you want to bring all of your things. I would suggest that you deeply research moving all of your items in like one of those shipping containers. It is a lot of money. I will tell you that to get your stuff from the United States to here, it is a lot of money and there are so many restrictions. When I worked for the airline, it was very easy to send almost anything under the cargo bin of the plane. But now with the restrictions, they're making it so that you can only send up to 100 pounds. That's it. Used to be able to send like 500, 600 pounds at a time. Not anymore. So you would definitely have to do your research. I don't know your individual situation, so I don't want to give you a general synopsis of how that will work. But research sending your stuff, and just bear in mind that the fees, the taxes to get over here are very high. There was talk about putting, restrictions on Central America at one point. So that has definitely affected the taxes over here. So just keep that in mind, all right? Okay, so Spanish school. You need to learn Spanish when you're over here. Costa Rican people are not going to learn English for you. What I realize is a lot of Americans kind of feel like everybody should know English because English is the main language of the world or the language of business or whatever. Costa Ricans do not feel that way. They couldn't care less about what language you speak. You're in their country and they want you to speak their language. So you're going to have to learn at least conversational Spanish. I was just speaking about how, I was the president of the Spanish club. I thought I knew Spanish well. But I got over here and realized that the time it takes me to translate what someone's saying and then translate what I need to say is a lot longer than I'd like for it to be. So Spanish school is something that I have enrolled myself in. I will give you the link to the Spanish school that I recommend. It is $10 an hour for Spanish lessons, and about 5 hours a week would be sufficient because you're going to get most of your lessons when you're at the grocery store, when you're at the coffee shop, when you're out on the street and someone wants to stop and talk to you. That is where you're going to get most of your practice. Also, everything here is in Spanish on the TVs. On the TV channels. So, of course, you're going to get practice by watching TV in Spanish. I would definitely suggest, and big ups to Renata McFall. She was just telling me, hey, start watching those movies that you know by heart, but watch them with the Spanish covers, right? The Spanish, not subtitles, but you know how they dub it in Spanish. Watch them like that because you already know what's going on and you can already make out what's being said, and that will help your brain to adjust itself in order to learn what they're saying, right? And get used to hearing things in Spanish and not having to translate them automatically or take that extra time to translate them. So definitely watch movies, videos, listen to music in Spanish, and you'll get used to that, all right? So again, I suggest about 5 hours a week, maybe 1 hour a day, Monday through Friday, or 5 days a week, what have you, so that you can get used to speaking Spanish. Also, a very important part with that Spanish speaking thing is make sure that you're practicing before you get here, because as soon as you hit the airport, everyone is speaking Spanish. You may see a few signs in English, but as soon as you hit the airport, everyone's speaking Spanish. I will give you all a link to Renata's page. Her undergraduate is in Spanish. She is a fluent Spanish speaker and she teaches people. She's a teacher by trade. So I will give you the link with her permission. Don't quote me. I'm pretty sure I'm okay with this, but I will give you the link to her page, her Facebook page, so that you can hit her up if you do need help with Spanish translation services or anything like that. I really strive to up the people who I'm around and people who help me. So I'm definitely going to put that out there for you. Okay. All right. So the cost of living here. You can live rather comfortably on about $1,400 to $1,700 a month. And that's just amongst all of the American expats who have moved to Costa Rica, just some of the blogs that I've read, some of the research I've done. You can live really comfortably on about $2,000 to $2,500 a month. That's for a single person, of course. If you have children, that's going to vary a little bit depending on how big your children are, how much they need. But those are the ranges in which you will live rather comfortably here in Costa Rica. I'll give you a list of some of the things that you can buy and how much it'll cost. But that's $1,400 to $1,700 a month is for rent, utilities, food, transportation, all of the above. So I'll break everything down. You can get a good meal here with, the entire meat and potatoes, as they say, from anywhere from $4.50 to $6 per meal. It's very affordable. All right, so I already said join those Facebook groups, but you also want to join and follow those expat blogs. And they have expat groups where they'll send you a newsletter. They have Reddit pages, what have you. Look for one of those expat blogs. Expats are just people who moved out of the United States or out of another country into a foreign country, and they now live there either with dual citizenship or citizenship from that other country. Okay, and some even live in these other countries that they're not from with citizenship from their home country, which is completely possible. But I would recommend at least getting some sort of visa or some sort of dual citizenship. But dual citizenship can be kind of tricky with the U.S. because no matter what anybody tells you, the U.S. doesn't have the best reputation as far as immigration is concerned. So look into that. Do your research on that very heavily. If you are one of those people who would like to come back and forth, you can stay in whatever country you're going to. Mine is Costa Rica for a few months, as long as it takes to not have a visa until you get your visa and then go back to the United States, back and forth, back and forth. But it is highly recommended that you get your visa, all right? So those expat groups are important because they're going to tell you the do's and don'ts in the country that you're in. They're going to tell you where you can and can't go, what the customs are, why someone's doing something that be kind of weird, why you shouldn't do something that they may think is kind of weird. Those expat groups will save you from a lot of trouble, a lot of pain. Just follow those groups. And I always suggest make sure that you're following groups, expat groups that have the same and hobbies in mind, maybe same activities that you like to do. So that's easier for you to get along with and have something in common with those groups. And they also can teach you a lot about the language as well. And that will help you to supplement your 1 hour per day, 5 days a week for your Spanish classes. Also, what I forgot to mention for the cost of living, you can get a doctor's visit anywhere from $25 to $30 per visit. An English-speaking doctor, you can get that here in Costa Rica. All right, so next, a very important aspect of living in Costa Rica is the transportation. The transportation here is extremely cheap, way cheaper than any state I've ever been to in the United States. You can get about 50 miles by bus for less than $5. You can get about 2 hours by bus, and that will take us from here in San Jose all the way to Limon, where the beaches are, for about $7, give or take. And a taxi ride, a short cab ride, taxi ride is about $1.85, somewhere around there. You can get on the bus from place to place for less than 50 cents. There is Uber, and Uber is really cheap here. However, it's important to note that Uber is kind of on the outs with the government here. They don't really allow it because Uber drivers do not pay taxes. So because of that, there are some things that Uber drivers won't do as far as where they'll take you, as far as they'll take you into a certain city or an area. Some may say, hey, I can't take you any further, and you may have to get on the bus or get a regular taxi in order to get you the rest of the way. And regular taxis are pretty expensive in comparison to Uber, and they do try to overcharge tourists, people who they know are not from the area. So very important. Another good reason why you need to speak Spanish out here. But overall, the transportation is really inexpensive. So you can get around here without a car, for less than a few $100s a month. If you do have a car, I think it's about $130 a month to put gas in it, keep up the maintenance and whatever the fees are in Costa Rica. And you can quite possibly drive your car from the United States to Costa Rica. It will be a very long drive depending on where you're driving from, but you can absolutely do it. So just some things to think about. All right, and the 10th and final step, the most important step in the precise science of geo-arbitrage, of expatriation to another country from the United States, is your mindset. Without it, you can't do anything that we just talked about. You will definitely not be able to leave the country, probably not even the state. A lot of people haven't left the states that they're from because of mindsets, or the state that they've left their home state to live in. They haven't left there because of their mindset. And I'm telling you, this is the most important part. You can't have anything, right? The saying is, whether you can or you can't, you are correct. And if you have a limited way of thinking, if you put can't in front of a lot of things that you don't yet know how to do, then you never will know how to do them. You never will learn. So a good thing to use, a good word to replace can't with, or to add in with the word can. I strive to avoid the word altogether. But if you're used to saying can't, put yet in there. I can't do X, Y, Z yet, because this programs your mind to feel like you are in a constant state of learning, that you are getting there, you're just not there yet. But I'm telling you, with the things that you tell your mind, that programs your reality, and this is all a part of programming your reality. When you want something, you go after it. You speak as if you already have it. It's very important to speak as if you already have things, because it does something for your mind. It does something for the frequency that you are on to help you literally attract, bring things to you that will advance you in your journey towards your goals. So as soon as you wake up in the morning, the first thing that you hear in the morning when you rise, right, and the rising as we call it, is supposed to be something that gets you closer to what you want. So that's why those positive affirmations, those mantras, I am such and such, I am a geo-arbitrager, I am an expat living in Costa Rica, in Ghana, and wherever it is that you want to live. Just knowing those things are very important. Telling yourself those things are very important as soon as you wake up. And it needs to be the last thing that you hear before you go to rest, before you go to bed. Tell yourself those things, those positive affirmations, really looking in the mirror and telling yourself, I love you, insert your name there. So I love you, Link. It does something to speak to that little boy or little girl deep down inside of us who really didn't feel loved. You are smart, Link, the child who really didn't feel smart. As much as we talk about how smart we are or whatever the case may be, we do a lot of overcompensating because we don't really believe those things in most cases in our lives until we reprogram our minds to do so. I heard something very powerful a few weeks ago where a woman who helps her clients reprogram her mind. I can't reprogram their minds. I can't remember her name, but she asked the client who came to her and said, these positive affirmations aren't working for me. She said, okay, you say how many positive affirmations per day? The client said, I say 3 to 5. She said, okay, that's great. Now, how many poverty affirmations, how many negative affirmations do you tell yourself every day? If it's 100 to 200 per day, that is always going to outweigh those positive affirmations. So I'm not telling you to stop thinking negatively. I'm telling you to replace negative thinking, because if you try to stop thinking negatively, all you're going to do is continue to think negatively. So for every negative thought that you have, replace it with 3 positive. You've probably heard this before, but I'm telling you it works. Your mind is a computer, and computers can be programmed. So you must do that. Every time you tell yourself you can't do X, Y, Z, give yourself 3 reasons as to why you can. And actively learn those things. Actively program your mind to feel as if it's learning, and you will manifest, you will attract to you whatever it is that you're looking for: wealth, love, or even the ability to move out of the country. Those of us who have taken this step, I will say, we have been able to, I just started, but it is our goal, and for many of us, we're already doing this, where we're able to keep 70 to 80 or more % of our income, of our wealth. This is our wealth that we're generating. We're not constantly working for someone, slaving. We're able to actually keep what we have and pay off debt, save up to buy more assets, to buy land, to invest in things, to build generational wealth for ourselves and our family, our children's children. It's very important to a lot of us. We can help where we couldn't previously help. So if this is something that you would like to do, then all you have to, get done is changing your mindset. All right. So if this video helped you, if you know someone who has repatriated or expatriated to another country, they're loving it. If you once lived in another country and you come back to the United States, tell us why. Tell us about your experiences. Tell us about who you know who've done these things. If you're really serious about this, I will tell you to reach out to Coach B of Young, Rich, and Rooted. She is willing and able to do a Geo-Arbitrage checkup wherein she will help you kind of look over your finances and figure out what it is you need to do based on the country that you're looking to live in, how much you're going to need for that country, what your savings plan is going to look like. She'll give you an in-depth and a reachable goal and steps to get there, how long it's going to take you to get there. Reach out to her. Again, that is Coach B of Young, Rich, and Rooted. If you are looking for ways to learn how to work online, to run a business online, I want you to type in Zykera.com. That's Z-Y. You know what? I'm not even going to stop to spell that. I'm just going to write it in here, put the link into the description and put it on the screen. But tap into Zykera.com. She is the author of Social Media Secrets. Her book talks about how you can leverage social media and work from home online and get paid doing it, make a lot of money doing it. She is a mother and a business owner. The two, actually, Zykera and Betty and another young lady, Katrina, have a show called Life of a Boss Mom, I believe it is. I'll also put a link to that into the description. So if you need help, if you need support, I'm definitely here to give it to you. You can email me at linkgreen.thechemist@gmail. Ask me any questions that you may have. If this is what you want to do, you can absolutely do it, all right? So as always, I'm going to ask you to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. What are you waiting on? I have more information coming for you on Geo-Arbitrage, on mindset shifting, on living the life that you deserve, relationships, whatever the case may be. If there's anything that you would like me to talk about, put that in the comments as well so I can get to it. I'll answer as many questions as I can. Make sure you tune in for the next episode of Precise Science with Link Green the Chemist. And remember, you are divine. It is your time. That is not just something that rhymes, all right? Peace.